All right. Hello, everybody. As was forecasted last turn, um, not gonna not gonna string you out here. Vanderlog won a well fought game. Can peek through the last of these messages. Asphodel put up Gift of Health on the last turn. Um, Usual stuff going on here. I don't think these battles are particularly exciting. Yeah, this was just PD. This, a bunch of archers swarming a panic apostate, and PD. So let's go ahead and look at the final score graphs. This has everybody in it. I'm second place in provinces for a while, but I did stall out when I was no longer fighting Pangea, basically. Forts, income, and Vanderlog had a significant edge on me on income, although this doesn't quite tell the full story because I did have luck scales that were giving me some lucky events. Gem income, research. So even with me trying to bend the curve on research, I was still a ways behind. Like, I just caught up to where Pythium was for comparison there. So that was definitely a big weakness of me this game, is I needed to do a lot more research than I did. Dominion, army size, all that crossbreeding certainly makes me scared here. And then ascension points, where Vanderlog got these 5 all in the last turn. So hats off to Vanderlog, of course. As you may have seen with me doing these series, the thing that I look for is what could I have done better? And I think that my god, like the tripart god, is a very good god for End. It's very powerful. I got great expansion out of the gate with that, but I still had solid amounts of growth. So at the end here, End is making 550 income per turn. The turmoil meshes nicely with the luck scales. So initial design was great, and I'll probably play this exact same god sometime. When everyone was ganging up on Arcocephale, I should have jumped in sooner. And the reason that was critical is because I ended up letting Vanderlog get this throne, which is only 1 point throne, but it would have been a great pickup for me nonetheless. Like, it's a great province, 200 income, all of these magic sites and stuff. So there was a lot to be gained there. Looks like Vanderlog went and they cast Release Throne Power, and they also cast Akashic Knowledge on it. Let's see. The war against Pangea. As I mentioned earlier, I could have shaved 2 turns if I hadn't been stupid when I was trying to fight that monument, but that, well, it is what it is. At some point I could have beaten up on Phasia, which would have freed up Asphodel sooner. I think that might have helped me in the short term, but it still would not have made that much of a difference. And then finally, obviously, fighting Vanderlog. I had the elf power. I could have won the raiding battle because, like, in a giant army fight, these Vanderlog dudes would take on anything. But in terms of stealth, sneaking around, and draining someone's economy, I had a huge edge there with all the stealthy lions and the Zots and the Molochs and the bitch mothers. So that's something that I definitely like. I should have declared that war much sooner, and I could and should have leveraged my raiding capabilities. And then the last thing was just an awful no good black mark on me was my research. And I think what happened was in my capital, I was recruiting too many sacreds for too long. So I was dumping a bunch of money there rather than to mages. I don't regret picking up all of the huntresses because you need, like, well, until you have a lab in place, they're a good thing to buy, and they do provide me with the lions, which are quite useful. But I should have been recruiting more blood mages. Should have been recruiting, forging more infamiliars, and basically, I needed to strike a better balance between blood hunting and research, and I needed to get more money somehow. That might have also been a consequence of my expansion, where just the provinces that I got were not the highest money provinces at the beginning, although like my territory, when it's all said and done, had a lot of money in it. So I'm not sure. There's definitely improvements I could have made there, but I'm curious to think about like what would have been the optimal path. I spent a lot of money on upgrading these forts, which is an investment, but maybe I should have been investing in more research instead. Let's see. So we talked about Vanderlog and prosecuting that war. Maybe I could have talked Facia into switching gears and fighting Vanderlog instead. I'm not sure how much of a difference it would have made. How did Facia even end? Yeah, so they're down there in provinces, and in research, they even had less research than I did by a factor of about 2/3. So, all right. So I think that covers it. It was a pleasure playing this game. Thanks to all the folks who played with me. Thanks to Johnny for organizing it. And thanks to you for watching. As always, if you have any suggestions, send them my way, and take care.